Hello again, folks. Welcome to another edition of Between the Banks. You're not going to believe where I'm fishing, and I can only hope that this is a big speckled trout. Just pulled up here. Let's see. It's not digging like a cat. Maybe it's fat. Check it out. Coming up. Oh, it is a cat. So, I'm fishing by Lafourche. You can see the Leeville Bridge behind me in the background. When the fish move in the fall and you start getting that winter weather, you'd be surprised the lunkers that live right here in Bayou Lafourche. Hopefully, I'm going to catch some speckled trout here. Stay tuned. We'll find out. I'll give you all the details. It's a Rock'em Sock'em edition of Between the Banks. Between the Banks is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Louisiana.
My name is Jack Holloway, and I'm a data scientist at Blue Cross Blue Shield of Louisiana. We analyze all of the wealth of healthcare data and information to see how can we improve health outcomes, how can we make you healthier. For me, it's the greatest feeling in the world to see that the work that you're doing is really impacting people. It's really moving the needle, it's changing them, it's making them healthier, it's giving them options.
Up and down the bayou. That's how we tell you to get from one place to the other. It's a little different, but so are we in Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. And once you get here, you'll understand why our Cajun runs a little deeper. Find a piece of our story on swamp tours, fishing boats, at festivals, attractions, and restaurants. Visit lacajunbayou.com to plan your trip today. Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. Rich, natural, unapologetically Cajun. Just south of New Orleans, where Cajun runs deep.
We got blown out of Bayou Lafourche. Oh, trout. Nice one. We got blown out of Bayou Lafourche, southwest wind picking up in advance of the next front. So barometric pressure has fallen, and before I call it quits, I figured I'd come in the East Access Canal. So Bayou Lafourche, nothing but catfish. East Access Canal, first spec. Stay tuned. It may end up being a Rock'em Sock'em edition of Between the Banks. Stick with me. Oh, another trout. Another trout. Oh, and this is a white trout. Okay, so the East Access Canal is famous for white trout, reds along the bank, and nice specks out in the middle of the canal. So I'll pick this fish up. When I come back, I'll show you how I'm rigged, and I'll give you some details about the East Access Canal and why the fish are here. Stay tuned. Wind's picking up, weather's getting rough in front of that next cold front. Another one. Oh, let it go. Let it go. Oh no, he's still there. Speckled trout. But I don't think that's gonna make it. Okay, so on specks they gotta be 12 inches. They've got to, you can have 25. On white trout, you can have any size, and you can take as many as you want. This one's not going to make 12 inches, probably around 11 or 10. Okay, so here's what I've learned about the East Access Canal. Okay, so when you come into it, you start oyster beds. They cut this canal when they built this bridge behind me. And they floated in all the parts and everything to build that bridge. There used to be a huge oyster bed here. And this opens up into the pond that's south of the East Access Canal. So we're going to turn and we're going to point into the wind. So bear with us here. All right, so as we look to the right, you can see that I've got the boat positioned right by the first cut. Okay, and then if you follow the bank to the right some more, you're going to come to a big piling. That piling right there denotes where the oyster bed ends. So what I've done is, we come back towards me, what I've done is I've anchored right by the first cut. I got a south wind to a southwest wind picking up. So it's blowing water out of the big pond and it's rolling along the bank. Let's take a look at that point again. And you're gonna see from the point to the left, look at that big shiny slick there and that nervous water and the water that's being blown across the bank. Now we come back towards me. If you look really good, folks, you gotta really look good. You'll notice that the far bank is dirty. The water 10 feet off that bank is dirty, cardboard brown. So you know all the fish, the trout, are gonna be in the middle of the canal because they need clean water to survive. All right, so I stuck my power pole in about, let's see. Got the power pole in about 3.5 feet of water. And I'm casting out into the middle. I'm hitting those oysters. Wind's blowing this way, current's going that way. So you gotta fish with your rod tip down. I'm using a cockahoe, big goo-goo cockahoe, rigged on a shock leader, 25, 30-pound test shock leader. That's a number 4 Kale hook, smaller than that 1/0 that I usually use. And you can see I'm passing it between the lips and the skull. That's where I'm putting the hook. Okay, now, I've been changing bait every time I catch a fish, but I'm not gonna do it this time so I can demonstrate to you exactly how I'm catching. Okay, so I'm gonna take it. I'm on a 7-foot medium action. Got a Calcutta 251 left-handed because I want to hold the rod in my right hand, which is where my power is. So I got that 1/8 ounce weight on it. I'm gonna click, toss it into the middle. Okay, once I get into the middle, and if the wind gets bad enough to where I start bird nesting, then what I'm going to do is go to my spinning gear. Let me get this out. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm keeping my back to the wind. I'm reeling up my slack and I'm holding my rod tip down. That's the only way you're going to feel the bite. The current's going to carry my line along those oysters. When the fish hits it, I feel the hit, pick up the slack, set the hook, and that's it. That's how I'm working the spot. So I'm going to put another freshman on and get back out there. And that's what you need to know about the East Access Canal. Bear with us. I know it's windy, but I wanted to show you this spot, especially since I was so close to Bayou Lafourche. This is right next to Bayou Lafourche. So stay tuned. Put another cockahoe on, toss it back out there. Stick with me. Well, I mean, they're hitting it as soon as it hits the water. Oh yeah, nice white trout. Beautiful color fish. But those big cockahoes, if it's a small white trout, they can't get it in the mouth. You feel them boom, 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 boom. But that's the key. And look, I'm gonna pull some nice white trout out of here. You tells me there's a lot of fish there. But I know there's a lot of fish because look, check out the depth finder. Notice they're all on the bottom. They're all hanging mid-level and down. It's because the water at the top is dirty. Now I'm anchored in 3/4. That's on the ledge of the canal. But I'm fishing 9 to 10 feet in the middle of the canal. So that's why I'm catching fish. All right. And don't forget, I'm changing the bait every cast. I don't care if he's still alive or not. I'm putting a new bait on so that way I can hammer the fish. Stay tuned. I'm going to tell you just how good white trout is and how you can fix them. All right, so folks, you know that if you watch Between the Banks, every time I get into the fish where it's one after the other, I tell a cameraman, Hayden, to go ahead and roll straight footage. But if you watch the show, you know that the camera spooks the fish. But let's see if they're biting strong enough to where it doesn't matter. So, put a new cockle on. You can see it's a nice one. I'm gonna toss it out. Let's see how long it takes. Okay, tripping my reel. I'm lowering the rod. And I'm taking all my slack out. Okay, got all the slack out. I can feel the oysters on the bottom. Just to make sure I got the slack out, I just real slow. And wait for the hit. There's the hit. He's playing tug of war with me. I'm going to tighten up on him and set the hook. Huh, I can't believe the camera didn't spook me. Just reel him in. Oh, the camera did spook me. Let it go. So I know that was a small fish because look at the minnow. See how he's skinned right here? So that fish could only get to the minnow that far. So big minnows call what you're catching. You don't have to catch small fish. Casting it in this direction because the current's going that way. I'm gonna lower my rod tip, get the slack out. Wait till I feel the oysters on the bottom. That 1/8 ounce is perfect. And I'm just gonna reel slow. Check out my hands. See how slow I'm reeling? Now this is a 5-to-1 gear ratio. That means every time I turn the handle once, the spool goes around 5 times. Just picking up my slack. There's the fish. He's biting on it. I'm going to swing to him. Come. And I'm going to set the hook. And I'm going to reel in. Man, let's see. Is the camera going to make this one come off? Negative. But it's a yonk. But is that going to chase me away? Absolutely not. Catfish are a way of life until the water temperature starts getting into the 50s and the water gets real cold. Then they'll go dormant. We won't see those boogers until it starts warming up again in the spring. But in the meantime, we got to live with it. I'm going to flip this off, cast back out. Stay tuned. Got another one. Oh, check out the size of this one. I love to catch white trout. People say, oh, the meat is mushy. Bull, it's not mushy. What you got to do is you got to keep them on ice. Then, when you fillet them, throw the fillet on ice. You just got to ice them up, folks. And that's it. And it's a great eating fish. almost as good as a speckled trout. And then you can take as many as you want. Man, I'm gonna put some fish in the freezer. But white trout, I'll only leave in the freezer for a month. After that, they're gone. I'm eating them. So, a beautiful fish and a great fun fish to catch. And they hit it hard. You're gonna know it when they jump on the line. Put them in the box and get back out there. Stay tuned. It's gonna be a quick edition of Between the Banks. I may have started with a catfish over there in Bayou Lafourche, but East Access is always good when the front's coming and the wind's blowing out the south. Just anchor up on that south bank and cast to the middle, no trouble. Let's see what this is. Oh, nice white. Golly, they're really getting big. They're really getting big. It's turning out to be hammer time. I mean, check out that white trout. I mean, talk about some delicious meat on it. All right, I'm gonna toss him in the box. I'm feeling lucky. I think I've broken the camera jinx. So, I'm gonna roll straight footage. I'm not scared. The fish should be scared. Alright, through the lips. Got it. Just gonna toss it out. Hits the water. I'm gonna wait, let that bait fall down to the middle of the canal where all those oysters are. And when it does that, I'm just gonna real slow. It keeps with the wind blowing as hard as it is, it's the only way that I can keep the line tight enough to feel the hit. If I just threw it out and held my rod tip up, I'd get a big belly in the line, the fish would hit it and I wouldn't feel it. Just reeling them slow. Wait until they hit. And the whole time I'm reeling, folks, I can feel those oysters. I can feel that weight rolling over those oysters. Nice and slow. Maybe I pushed my luck with having the camera on. Just real and slow. We're gonna see. Oh, there's one nibbling. There's one nibbling. I'll reel it some more, make him think that it's getting away from me. I mean, bait jumping. You wouldn't think with the water as dirty as it is. But the water's clean at the bottom. That's one good thing about depth. Most of the places that I fish during the fall, they're either adjacent or in deep water. Okay. It's time for me to look at the camera and say, cut. Did I say cut? Mm-mm. I didn't say cut? Okay. Well, let's see if I spook them again, you know, with the camera. All right. It's down on the bottom. I came off that ledge, and now it's in the middle of the canal. I can feel that weight rolling around those oyster shells. But the minnows not getting hooked because he's swimming above that weight. He's swimming about 6-8 inches off the bottom. Oh, there's a nibble. They're chasing that big cuckoo minnow. They're trying to get it in their mouth. Must be a small one. Here comes a boat. I think I got a nice one here. This is so much fun. Running under the boat. Come on out there, buddy. That's definitely not a catfish. Oh no, it's a big spot. Look at this. In there with the white trout. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So next time you get to the fishing spot and you catch a white trout and you say, I don't want white trout, I want speckled trout. Believe me, specks hang there too, and if you got big minnows, you're gonna find that out. Big fish. There you go. He'll be swimming in my stomach by the time I get home. I think I got another horse. Oh, pulling hard. Pulling hard. Come check them out, folks. Pulling hard. Might be a cat or... Oh, it is a cat. Big old gaff top. Okay, well, we know that's a speckled trout's friend. No need for me to leave. But while he's on the line, that's my cue. Here's the Marina Minute. All the fine businessmen that make your fishing trip complete to Leeville. Leeville is just an awesome place to fish in Lafourche Parish. And it's because it's friendly. It really draws. The canals are close. You can fish inside or out and fish all the time. That's why they had a national championship for the kayakers here. So let's check out the Marina Minute. Boudreaux's, tie your boat to your bed. Got your own fish cleaning station, your own ramp. Life is good there. And if you want to get on the fish, all you got to do is come ask me. That's where I'm at, Boudreaux's Waterfront Motel. So, right across the street, Griffin's, get my ice, ethanol-free fuel, and then my boat. It stays in mint condition because I bring it to renovations and have them do the service and everything I need. Power pole, trolling motor, doesn't matter. Renovations can handle it. Go see Holly St. Pierre. So, let's take a break here. Here's the Marina Minute. I'm going to follow it with the map. Show you right where this spot is. Boudreaux's Waterfront Motel. Dock your boat at the end of the pier right under your room. Set up your grill. Got your own fish cleaning station, your own ramp. And for big groups, enjoy the sunset at the Boudreaux House. Boudreaux's in Leeville.
Griffin's Marina and Ice has bag, block, and blown ice for whatever size boat. Both dockside and roadside ethanol-free fuel, convenience store, breakfast, crispy chicken, all conveniently located in downtown downtown Leeville.
Renovations is your complete marine center for sales, parts, and service. Pathfinder, War Eagle boats, Minn Kota Motor Guide trolling motors, power pole and Minn Kota anchoring systems, pumps, trailer parts. Renovations will keep you on the water. Alright folks, you can see, here's the map feature brought to you by the great folks at Lorenz. I got the back end of the boat anchored 3.5 feet right on the shelf. But even on the shelf, look at the fish going by here. Just tons of white trout, speckled trout. And if you look good, these bigger fish are either gaff top or catfish. Notice water temperature has risen 71.0. I got 1/10 of a current and it's even increasing. So I got incoming tide here pouring in. So let's go pages. Get over to map, enter. Alright, so you can see the East Access Canal. It's not defined, but you can see where it came through. It's not on this GPS. So you can see where it came through, and you can see where I'm at the first cut. But it cuts through this oyster bed. I got this pond draining through the cut. I mean, life is good. Perfect conditions here. So, here's your coordinates. North, 14,588. West, 12,122. So, and you can see all my marks here. You can see how much I fish here all the time. So we'll save that one, but here's all my marks right on top of each other. I'll zoom in and you'll even be able to see how many spots I fish in here. Starting up on the north end, all the way down to 70 on the south end, and here's where the boat is. There's the map feature, brought to you by the good folks at Lorenz. There's the fish. Good hard bottom here. Well folks, there you have it. Another edition of Between the Banks. Hope you enjoyed this week's episode. And don't forget, you get into the white trout, don't throw them away. This feels like another big gaff top. That's about the only kind of catfish that can get that big goo-goo in their mouth. Yep. Oh, there's a big hardhead. Well, you know it's time to say goodbye. I'm running out of light. Wind's picking up. I'm heading back in. We'll see you next week with another edition of Between the Banks. Don't forget, want to keep up with what's happening in Leeville? Dial the Between the Banks fishing line, 504-458-9451. Or watch Between the Banks on your favorite cable daily, on TV daily, and then YouTube at your convenience. We'll see you next week. In the meantime, good luck fishing. Yo.